Coming up, a new Deebo Samuel injury update going into Sunday's NFC Championship game against the Detroit Lions and what his presence means for this Niners offense. It's all coming up right now. Let's get it. Welcome into the show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr., and what a historic weekend we had on this channel. First, our watch party on Saturday night in that thrilling game against Green Bay picked up 330,000 views, 2,000 plus subscribers, and then we went live on yesterday. Thanks to all the real ones who tuned in for Detroit, Tampa Bay to do some scouting and to prepare for who the Niners are going to play in the NFC title game. Detroit obviously able to get the win, 111,000 views there, and we will be live once again for another watch party. The best place to experience game day outside of being at the actual game, and another 2-hour pregame show on Sunday for this game at Levi's Stadium. We'll be live, and our coverage will get underway 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific, again, 2 hours prior to kickoff, and then another loaded week right here on the 49ers Report. We're going live today, Monday. The show starts 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. This is why you subscribe. Turn on those notifications. Therefore, whenever we push out a video, whenever we go live, you will be notified. Without further ado, let's talk about Deebo Samuel here. Got a tweet to get to from early this morning from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Niners consider it 50-50 as to whether wide receiver Deebo Samuel will be able to play in the title game against the Lions due to that shoulder injury that he suffered against the Packers. And it was quite the first quarter for Deebo, and an unfortunate one because first he was taken into the blue tent, took a hit up top, evaluated for a concussion. He comes back into the game, takes a hit on that shoulder that he injured earlier this year, and is knocked out for the remainder of the ball game. The good news is no fracture in that shoulder after undergoing a bunch of tests on Sunday. It is, though, the same shoulder that caused him to miss 2 games with the hairline fracture back earlier this year, and San Francisco certainly missed him in those 2 games. Here's what Ian Rapoport had to say on the Deebo front. My understanding is there's no fracture in the shoulder of Deebo Samuel, which is good news. As far as the status moving forward, that remains up in the air. Kyle Shanahan will talk to reporters later today, but they believe this is not a major injury. Samuel got to work on his rehab right after the injury happened and was telling people he thinks that he will be okay. So to kind of summarize all of that, the 49ers need this very versatile weapon to make their offense even more dangerous. San Francisco right now not deeming it a major injury. Good news that he was able to rehab right after the game, and he felt as though he's confident enough in himself to hopefully get back for Sunday, telling his teammates that he believes he is going to be okay. And we're going to explain later on today's 49ers Report what his presence means to this 49ers offense, so stay tuned for that. Actually, let's just get to it right now. Why Deebo is valuable to the Niners here. His versatility as a wide receiver, his versatility as a running back. You can use him out wide, in the slot, in the backfield. He's so dynamic with the ball in his hands, and he's a physical ball carrier. You can also use him as the disguise Swiss Army knife weapon on this Niners offense in motion to try to figure out if the offense is playing zone or man. Usually when a man follows the motion man, that signifies that the defense is indeed playing man-to-man defense. If not, usually a zone defense. But Kyle Shanahan gets so creative with where he puts Deebo on the field. Again, in the slot as the X-wide receiver, in the backfield, jet sweeps, end-arounds, reverses. We saw him throw a touchdown pass last year, and he's been utilized on trick plays. He's also used as a kick returner for the special teams unit because San Francisco looks at him as a guy who, let's find a way to just allow him to make an impact on this football game, and let's put the ball in the hands of a one-of-one playmaker. And you look at his numbers over the last 4 years. I know he's missed some time. Only 7 games in 2020 after his rookie campaign. He played 16 in 2021. He was a first-team All-Pro. 13 last year, but the contract situation, he even said his body wasn't ready, didn't feel himself. He looked slow and sluggish, and even vowed to all of us and Kyle Shanahan he'll never put those plays on tape again. And then this year, also a pretty solid season, but of course did miss a couple of games. What really stands out is his yards per catch, because he's so explosive in both beating the defense, running defenders over, hitting you with the Madden truck stick, making guys miss, being elusive, the pull away speed to take it to the crib. That's what's really impressive. And obviously last year you saw how the yards per carry and yards per catch were down so dramatically, but also it's the yards per carry. You give him the football and he's going to give you 5-6 yards per carry. And I thought that he was going to be a part of this game plan against Green Bay as a runner in addition to Christian McCaffrey, but that kind of went down the toilet when he got hurt, and Kyle Shanahan then had Brock Purdy throw 39 times, certainly a mysterious game plan. But they did stick with the run with Christian McCaffrey. But to have Deebo and McCaffrey, it just makes you a little bit more dangerous as an offensive unit. And the Niners are going to have to keep up with the Lions' offense. This Niners defense has not been playing all that well. They have some holes, not a good tackling unit. And we talked about it last week. They faced the fewest amount of rushes per game. Green Bay ran it a lot. They had success. Logan Ryan whiffing on that tackle that allowed Aaron Jones to pick up, 55 yards? He got to play Jair Brown. This Niners defense, though, there are some holes. There are some weaknesses, and this is a huge week for defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, but also for Deebo Samuel to be healthy, because if this is a shootout, you're simply not the same offense without number 19 on the field, because other teams can key in on Christian McCaffrey. They can key in on George Kittle, as well as Brandon Ayuk. And teams don't fear Ray McLeod as well as Chris Conley like they do for Deebo. Now, McLeod kind of took that Deebo role of being the motion man, gadget weapon, posing that threat to the defense, but he ain't Deebo Samuel. And then Chris Conley, really big catch, right, on that final drive as Purdy went 6 for 7 on the game-winning drive, but there's a reason he's been an NFL journeyman his entire career. What we did see, though, without Deebo playing and him on the sideline, Juwan Jennings coming out of concussion protocol, third and Juwan, also known as Benny, was clutch. 5 catches, 61 yards. He was tremendous, 12.2 yards per catch. And it just seems as though whenever the Niners need a big play in the pass game here in 2023, 2022, 2021 seasons, it's been Juwan Jennings coming through on the money downs. And you look at this Detroit Lions offense, and they have the ability to put up a lot of points on the scoreboard. They have a great play caller in Ben Johnson. They have a quarterback in Jared Goff who's really been playing well over the last season and a half. Really good offensive line, a dynamic running game. And the Niners have to be better against the run, especially against this Lions team with the offensive creativity through the air and Jared Goff really playing well in play action. And then Dan Campbell, as we know, in addition to Ben Johnson, very, very aggressive. As for how Detroit stacks up, this is why this game, I think, might be a shootout. This is why the Niners might have to stick with this Lions offense if the defense continues to struggle. But this is also why I think San Francisco could put a lot of points on the board on Sunday at Levi's for the right to play in Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58. Points per game for Detroit, 5th. Yards per game, 3rd. Yards per play, 3rd. Third down percentage, 10. Number 2 scoring red zone offense. But then you look at that defense. They get aggressive. They do blitz a lot, but they're 23rd in points per game. Kyle Shanahan licking his chops at that. Just a head-scratching game for Shanahan on Saturday night. Certainly has to be better on Sunday. 20th in yards per game, 27th in yards per play, 10th third down percentage, which isn't bad, but teams are scoring at nearly a 63% clip when they get in the red zone against Detroit. They rank 27th among 32 teams in the regular season. Can the Niners win without Deebo? Whoa! Give me a W for win, L for lose. Let me know how you're feeling about this, and make sure you give me a follow on X. Give me a follow on Instagram. Really growing the social media platforms, putting out a lot of short-form content over there. So hit me up. Don't be a stranger. Say hello. Give me a follow, and it just allows you to stay further in tune with all things on the Niners front. Going live a little bit later today. We'll catch you 6:30 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and looking forward to that.